Hello, hello, hello. Hope everybody can hear me okay. I might need to move this mic up a bit and cover this ugly muggy mic if my arm wants to do it. So, just in the process of trying to win free stuff as well, which is always nice to get. Saves me spending money. So we do have a few things to do this evening. I picked up a new carrier earlier on, as I've had a request to do a video on it. I'm just going to turn this mic up a bit. So picked that up to do the request for the shield visuals. I do have a whole 9 keys to use as well, so we'll do a little bit gambling. So I'm just currently watching Mutara Alliance's stream. Their link is in the video description over on YouTube. So they do 2 streams a week. You don't need to be a member, but you can win prizes. And we're talking about personal space traits, keys, ships, kit modules, etc, etc. So they are extremely generous with their giveaways, so if you haven't already watched them, make sure you do so. Matter of fact, actually, I shall do a shout out to Mutara on Twitch just shortly, because I don't think Restream lets me do it. Let's see if I can. Restream won't let me do it, so I'll need to do it on Twitch in a moment. So, and I might also switch over to my Jem'Hadar character just to do some random TFOs, just to get that milestone out of the way for the recruit. Running a 1 gamma recruit at full levels, but I want to swap it from an engineer to a tactical, and the only way to do that is to create a new one. So I did. So what else has been happening this week? So my Excelsior 2 arrived from Fan Home. Video is on YouTube, and there was one rather embarrassing spelling mistake on it that Fan Home have looked into, and they are firing it up the chain to their sales guys and everything else. So we shall wait and see what they decide to do with that. Right, just get my Twitch channel up here just now. Very quick shout out to the Mutara, if I can spell it, Mutara Alliance. Hopefully that's worked. Okay, that's not worked. Typical. Back to Twitch. That's right. I'll put an entirely different name. So let me jump back in here. Normal service shall resume momentarily. What the hell am I talking about? This is my normal service. Go. So over on Twitch, you'll be able to see the Mutara Alliance link. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do so. Maybe join them on Sunday and see if you can win yourself some prizes. Back to the job at hand. There is always mobile, Eric. Thank you very much, pal. I do appreciate the effort. So let's get this ship leveled up, and then let's see what else we can get on with. And speaking of Mutara Alliance, that's the raid just came in. Evening, everyone. Have to wait for this chat to stop pinging all the way through. Pammy, Charlotte. Chris, thank you very much for the follow, mate. You've got to get that move bot sorted, pal. I'm just not one for ages. Nelson, thank you very much for the follows. This is the fun bit of trying to do these men. I always complain. I've tried the complaining route, I've tried the being nice route, I've tried the threatening route. Yeah. Yes, it certainly do serve as rubber bands on this server, I tell you. And this ship, yeah, I swear to God the Titanic turned faster. I knew the reason I hadn't picked this one up for years. In case anybody's wondering why I'm flying a Jupiter, it's because I need to do a shield visual video on it, as I had a request from a couple of viewers to do one. So I had a T6 token, grab it, and I'll get the video done over the weekend for them. I thought since I've got it, I might as well level it up. It's terrible, Chris. Now, sometimes you just wish they would go quietly. Hey, Spider. Apparently a full carrier, yes, having 3 bays would be good. So this one's just quite an old one. It's not even got a full spec seat in it, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's just Lieutenant Commander Intel. It would be nice if they'd go back through all the old ships and bring the seating up to current levels. I'll get onto the gambling once I finish this patrol.
We do what we want, where we want.
Should hopefully be very, very soon. Oh, now the competitive engines kick in. Typical. I think those engines are ship dependent because I use them on my Jemadar Vanguard Temporal warship. And I fly about the map like nothing on earth. I use it on anything else and it's like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? Yeah, it worked. That's when you don't want it to. I certainly would, yes. Even if it's just a case of making them full spec, even if it's just one seat. Just upgrade their spec seat into a commander. There we go. Job done. Nice bit of rubber banding there as well. Come on out of bed, thank you. There we go, so that should be mastered now. Fantastic. Insult to injury. Could be fun for a theme build, I suppose. Anyhow. The ones I would like to see them do it. This one's... they're all commander, aren't they? Yeah, they're all the pilot ones. It's not the ones I was looking for. It's only one I don't have. Might get to at one point. So these... yeah. So the likes of these ones. You know, I like the look of them, but they're not full spec. And they're all also the same spec as well. It's the same with these. Ah, it's got a commander command. That's fine. So I might pick them up at some point during a sale or something. Right, let's see what we can get. Hey, Winston. Research. Ah, if I was looking at the temporal and art research accolades earlier on. Oh, space trait, that'll come in handy. Last one. Let's get superstitious. Let's jump to the bridge and see if that makes a difference. Dan, thank you very much for the bits. Appreciated as always. Thought you'd ran out of them. I've not seen you cheer for a while. And any of the streams that we've been on together. Oh, come on. Map transfers, get faster. That's good, mate. Oh, but it was nothing too serious. My wife and eldest son's coming down your way tomorrow. They're off to London to see a concert. It's not Oasis. Something Dragons, I think it is. Damn it. So I've got to go and take them to the airport at 5:30. That'd be the ones, mate, yeah. Let's get all this stuff punted since I'm EC poor. It's for my eldest's Christmas. My wife got him tickets. Never heard them, to be honest. My taste in music, as my wife said, ended in the 80s. I just wish more folk were actually on the exchange, because It's extremely slow to sell anything. Uncon still sells very quickly, so that's a quick flip if I can find it. Where's it hiding? Conventional systems, there we go. Let's see what kit module drops. What's that? Oh, Agony Field. That might go for something decent. It's good to have a bit of variety in it. Oh, no. Nobody's going to buy it for 440 million, unfortunately. That's just wishful thinking. Right, we pop the rest of the stuff in my bank out the way just now. Keep a hold of them for some future stuff. I know you keep posting them on Discord, all your random music stuff. Right, over to the Gamma Recruit. Now, one drawback tonight is queuing for randoms, as we're going to get hit with gravity kills quite a bit. I've already had it 3 times this afternoon. So I was messing about with this, and I've still got another 49. It just says queues, it doesn't actually say randoms. Let's just try queuing up for something and see if that knocks the number up. Conduit Advanced, purely because this tune is nowhere near ready to go into full elites at the moment. I'll complete them, but they'll blow up quite a bit. Is there anything blowing up over on the Discords at the moment as well? That's the next question. Yeah, still talking about the D7. Which is not a bad ship to look at. I think I've actually got one. Yeah, the Continga. Yep. Got the Eagle Moss one. I also thought Infected would have popped quickly. Second resistance in the Hive as well. Hive onslaught straight away. There we go. Yes, it's like me in the gym, and depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing cardio, I'll stick a movie on my phone just to take my mind off of killing myself on the treadmill or on the bike. And if I'm on the weights, it's the usual Rocky soundtrack or something like that. Just takes your mind off the activity at hand. Oh, come on, load up already. So these load times are getting longer and longer. It certainly is, Dan, it certainly is. I used to get into the habit when I was playing golf before I did my shoulder in. Would be I was coming up to a tournament at the weekend. The night before, I'd watch the film Tin Cup religiously. Every night before a tournament, I'd go and watch Tin Cup with Kevin Costner. And then I'd go out and play a round of golf. I usually play relatively well. And then when I was in the gym all the time, I used to watch the Rocky films. I'll say I was going to the gym the following morning or something, I'd put Rocky on at night and watch all the training montages and so forth. There we go. Yeah, training montage in 4's great. Especially when he's allegedly going old school. Now. Not sparking that off tonight. Now, I already did my rant stream. That was Sunday. Oh, and if anybody hasn't seen the news, just speaking of Rocky, Hulk Hogan died today. Which was a bit of a shame. But 71's not a bad inning, I suppose. Still a bit of a shame. I know I've talked about it a few times, and there's now a couple of feedbacks up over on the official Discord about it, but even if they started off with the lifetime sub ships, make them something special and try and encourage more folk to get the lifetime sub, because at the moment the only benefit on PC is getting the monthly stipend of the Zen and having the auto refinement for the Dill, and then also the extra slots that you get, but the ships are nothing now. I actually took the lifetime sub ships out a few months back, just have a play about with them. It was challenging, shall we say. But they revamped them and then started working their way through the catalogue from the oldest ones. Now, the lifetime on PC pays itself off really in a couple of years if you buy Zen on a fairly regular basis over the year. So certainly when it first came out, and it was a fantastic benefit, but as I say, now we've got ships that outshine the ones you get as lifetime subs. And the fact you can use a T6 straight out the gate on new alts, so it's not really got the same benefit as it once did, unfortunately. But give it an overhaul, make the captain's table useful, unique weapons, missions, doffs, buffs, vanity shields, of course, can't forget them. Now, did that actually go up? Yes, it did. Fantastic. the ones that really need an overhaul: Klingons, Romulans, Jem'Hadar. That's the ones that really need a major overhaul. So there's a double spec command one on a science warbird. Anything over 2 years is getting that way down, to be honest. Because when you look at some of the event ships, the Garrett this year, the Alios has got one of the best consoles. The Typhoon, that's a great ship. The Vovin's got one of the best consoles on it as well. The Rex was a great ship, and it had the wingman mechanic. The Jelly, still up there for certain events and TFOs, so when you've got ships like that you can get for free when you do the events, why are you spending, or why would you spend, money on, well, the Timeless Legacy ships, for example, apart from the aesthetics, but from a performance point of view. Let's see if I can find one. The 4-4 Sovereign. So I got a Lieutenant Commander Intel seat and Forced Engineering seats. Same with the Pathfinder. That's why a Lieutenant. So they should do more with the older ships, but they'll also try and push the newer ones. And as my main as a Fed, obviously I want as many good Federation ships as possible, but I do fly Jem'Hadar, I do fly Klingon, Romulan as well, but I do have really, really good ships for them. So let's say I've got the D7 on my Klingon character, as well as the Bortus Q, Vorcha. For the Romulans, I've got the Scimitar, I've got the Deredex, and I'm currently flying the Talaru carrier on that one because it's a really, really good ship. Right, let's do some random advances if anybody's wanting to queue up. Have some fun. You've got an unhealthy obsession with that big blue Andorian girl. Cryptic loves the Freddy Bears. Might change that com badge, I think. Now, keep it clean. Wonder if I can make it to the tailor before the TFO starts, I wonder. Even on a quiet zone such as this, it's still not all that smooth. Mess about with this uniform after the TFO. And then I might order a new desk tomorrow. I had fun when I went and picked up the new rig last week. Look at that, ISA, that'll do quite nicely. When I was in Fortaventura the week before, I decided enough's enough, time to get a new rig, replace the laptop, so I did, ordered it, went and picked it up last Monday. Thought, oh, this box is a bit big, there must be tons of packing in it. Nah, there wasn't. The tower was too big for the desk. So, a bit in the context, I've got a 20-year-old glass top IKEA desk. And it's on A-frames. So, the tower was too big to fit in them. So I thought, right, okay. Then I started thinking, oh, I'll just design new legs for the desk and build them, and then realised I didn't have any wood in the garage, etc. And I had a moment of clarity where I realised I could actually remove the shelf. So I did that. So at the moment the tower is sitting at an angle. But I've seen a new desk, it's longer, unfortunately it's slightly thinner, but I can make that sacrifice, I suppose. And then it's an L shape as well, which means I can get my other monitors up easier. So I might get that, order that tomorrow, and it should be here Saturday. So that's a case of somewhere to store this desk, empty it. Nobody likes Katanko. No, Katanko's getting removed from the game. Heard it on the Leaks channel. So I decided to go from a gaming laptop to a gaming tower. Purely for that reason. I'll be able to upgrade it easier. Hey Wildwood, how we doing, pal? Alright. Let's see what badge we'll give this one. I've joined the Mutara Alliance. It's funny that I've got the motion picture combat, well, insignia, but I don't actually have the uniform. Even though I thought I did. Oh yeah, that's the I've seen that. Looks quite smart. I've got the X sitting on the desk at the moment, but if I'm honest, I rarely play on Xbox much these days. I do my dailies on Stow, occasional bit of golf with friends. I used to do Call of Duty and all the rest of it, but I get bored with Call of Duty. Got Robocop there, I've not played the latest update to it yet, so that's next on my list. I'll just get the Alliance badge, that'll keep them happy. Right. Another random advanced. And let's see if I can get back to the main room before it pops. Damn cats. I guess everybody's still messing about on Riser. Wasn't it the what's it called? Is it Rogue City? Is that what it's called? I went on sale. I can't remember, it was the January sales actually. I picked it up for a few £. And so I quite enjoy it, it's quite good. Yeah. Speaking of Big Blue, there she is. I'll put you on the team once this TFO's done, Dan. I think games consoles peaked with the Sega Master System 2. Alex the Kid and Sonic the Hedgehog, what more could you ask for? And the best bit is, Sonic wasn't. I just realised I didn't actually have a bottle of juice through with me. Need to go and get one. We didn't have Otto, annoying plumber from Brooklyn. Although now I steal my kids' Switch to play Mario. These load times are getting worse. Yeah, of course. Time gated one had to be. Yeah, we're forged, we know. Doing this one and Pavel is great fun if you have the Connie 3 console. Just fly straight towards them, fire off the wave, and then disappear. It's great fun. What a beautiful tropical island. Better not be talking about Riser. Take the wharf approach. And one day I went to Riser. I kept my Starfleet uniform on. Yeah, they were talking about Great Voth, fantastic. Microsoft was saying they were opening up Xbox to all the other stores. So that's an interesting move.
Parts are ready. Scan the satellites to activate.
And Doria should have been the winter event planet. They should change it and get rid of that annoying queue. Hey, Doom Turtle. A man can dream and that. Hey, Doc. funnily enough, I think what time to do this? 2 seconds. Somebody sent me something. Yeah, I bought the X for my 40th, and that, and gave my kids my Xbox One.
Multiple enemy signals on sensors. Get ready.
So it's done me alright, but as I say, I'm not doing much console stuff at the moment. Oh, I can hear the squeak of the living room blind getting closed by my wife. It's been a godsend over the summer holidays, I tell you. Right, stay alive. Damn it. That's what happens when I look at the chat and not what I'm doing in game. Sometimes you have too much choice. Just getting myself ready for the morning. So I promise I'm spoiled on my main because just obliterates this. This thing is very, very squishy. I have to take a different approach. Just try and pick them off a couple at a time. Nah, definitely well good. Definitely. I'm just hoping next year we see some decent changes. I've got tanks over my main character. I set the friendship up as a tank. I've got the sticks as well, and I've also got the legendary Odyssey. So I was going to say the legendary Sovereign, but yeah, that's not even got attract fire. As our tanks are situational as well. Damn it, Christ, stop with the fucking doffs, or what the hell they are. Thought I'd been fortunate, I thought you stopped that. But this one's not got any on it. Back to the tanks, they're more beneficial in coordinated runs. That way you're taking all the hits in the aggro. Everybody knows that you are, and they cover you as well, so it helps with your survivability. And why the hell is everybody over here doing hee-haw?
Picking up the enemy flagships. Hang on up there.
Nah, as you definitely aren't the only ones. As I say, I've not even entertained the idea of getting the ships at all. Because as much as I love the look of them in that bundle, I wouldn't even get them even just to do the shield visual videos on them. And normally I get the bundles at least for that purpose, and they do prove quite popular. But I couldn't even justify to myself getting them just for that. With that double spec seating and that Proxima double miracle worker on a science. And what fucking bright spark came up with that idea? Just going, oh, they like miracle worker ships. Yes, we like miracle worker ships for the extra console slots. We do not like miracle worker specialisation. So they've got 3 of them. Whatever there was at beta. 2 of them and some. It's absolutely mental. I'm severe tempted to just let Gamma go boom. Well, this ship is not good enough to take on the Voth single-handedly, unfortunately. Main account on decent DPS build, yeah, I could manage it, but not on this ship, and not on this character. Hell, I don't even have Uncon on this character. 2 minutes. The thing is we all fed back to them about it. Even before they released the specs of the ship, you know, Spencer was very clear saying double spec seating, just not two of the same. But some have theorised that they've got, you know, a sheet somewhere that gives them a list of combinations that they just work their way through and apply them to the ships. Don't know if that's true or not. It's, you know, a bit of a daft way to do it, if I'm honest. Better way, you know, learn the current state of the game, what players look for. It's unfortunate, you know, I say, because the art team was always a fantastic job with the ship visuals. At least they're all surviving, and I've only got another 20 seconds. No, so I say, even, you know, Spencer's shown, you know, it's a capable platform, but any ship in T6 is capable of the content that we have. It's only really the, when you get to the high end DPS chasing that they fall down. So I say, when they drop a 35% sale, I might consider it, but I'll wait and see how I feel at the time. Oh yeah, let me add you on. There you go. This is the only problem with Jem'Hadar ships. I've no idea which one I'm actually in. Right. There we have it. Next. No, my fault, actually. Cancel that. Go. Right. I'm going to take a wee break for a minute just to grab some juice, because otherwise my throat will get dry and then I'll start coughing, and nobody wants to hear that down a microphone. I shall leave you with some lovely slideshow. Back in a moment. There we go, that's better. What did I miss in chat? So wait for Dan to come back at Starbase 1. Or Star Ace 1, depends how you read that one. Yeah. No, there is absolutely nothing worse. I get it. Doing the Vanity Shield videos. Because I'm repeating myself that often that I've learned not to do it in one take. I've learned that very, very quickly. Especially when you start calling impulse engines warp drives and deflector arrays impulse engines. So, but I have had to re-record sections numerous times. I think what ships have not been out for in a while. Still going through and doing all the mastery on ships as well from time to time. That's it for running the feast at the end of the year. And depending what the next event is as well, you know, if we get something like Starbase, then it's good for that as well. Especially for doing the endeavours, you know, like healing hull or shields of your partners. Two minds whether to take out the Rex or not. This is the other great thing, I've got the Rex here, I can still buy it. What was that? Pilot Miracle Worker, wasn't it? Yeah. Apparently this isn't a bug. The fact that I own all of this from the events, yet the store says I can still buy them, and it only started happening last year. Although that one says I cannot purchase it because I already reached the limit, but surely that should just show as purchased. Same with the Pavo set, it's on there just now. Got the Protostar one, I've got the Borg one. Sometimes on the on sale it shows me as already having them, but yeah, when it does come to, I'd love to get new reputations in. I'd also love to get new factions as well. Clive, if you ever accuse me of liking Prodigy again, being you're having words. But yeah, I'd love to see, you know, getting the reps and everything all split up, so say Task Force have that split into Starfleet and KDF. I'd like to see that. I'd say get an Alliance one in, which would be nice. There's some decent anti-proton weapons in there, or proton ones that we don't have yet. That would be good. When it comes to the factions, I'd like to see the Jem'Hadar and the Romulans just becoming their own faction, so you don't have to align And same with new recruit events. Now, we don't have a Section 31 recruit, and as much as I don't like Discovery, they could just throw that in the Discovery tune, and there's a recruitment event for one that doesn't have it. Same for the Tal Shiar, stick that in the Romulan. And for the love of God, stop making every recruit have to play the entire bleeding story arc effectively. Just limit it to that recruit event. So the Gamma one should only be the Gamma missions, or that have the Jem'Hadar. And the Delta one's only the Delta Quadrant. And same with Temporal, is purely the Temporal story missions. Then that way you're not going through, as I have done numerous times on many characters across many accounts, the full story arc. Because I really cannot stand the story anymore as a result. I've burnt myself out on it, well and truly. So, finally done. Right, you're back. There you are. Right where I left you. Now, time to do another couple of randoms, purely because I'm going to cut this short in about 25 minutes, because I need to get up in about 7 hours to go and do the airport run, then come back, look after my other two kids whilst working from home. So it's going to be a very full day tomorrow. And they're going to be hyper and tired, which is a deadly combination when it comes to kids. I thought the antennas would have moved a bit on the Andorians. Well, funny you mentioned the Gagarin, and that I'm actually be tempted to take it out of dock and play with it again, but I was going to stick the TMP skin on it. Oh, son of a... This will be my 4th or 5th time playing this TFO today. And I was doing it earlier on this afternoon. And for love nor money, do you think I could get it to pick up a particle or drop one off? It would go to 100% on the bar and then reset. It was doing my head in, to say the least. That's a liberated Borg Juggernaut. That's just what we need. Something that big. Ooh, someone's got the Undine. Nice. And the Harogen. Well, the first one that I went into, I was doing it purely for the Universal. And I decided, well, I'll just take the friendship in. And I was in the ship, and I couldn't be bothered swapping. I thought, I'll just take that in. I had a friendship. I can't remember what other ones. There was 3 of us in massive ships. And I'm just like, yeah, that's not what you want for this one. You want something like this. Nice, nimble, quick. Deliver it, you son of a... Thank you. But then, another one that I did earlier on, I had somebody in a jelly. Which is fine, you know. Jelly's a capable ship, and that. But the person very quickly found out why it's called Gravity Kills. as they popped jelly mode at the back of, funnily enough, this station, and got pulled into the black hole, which I found very amusing. There's a time and a place for the jelly to be really effective, and that's your Starbase 1s, your Swarms, even the Kobayashi Maru as well. There's somewhere where there's not that much being activated or collected in order to get through the TFO, but somewhere where you can heal your teammates and you can still obliterate the enemy as well. So, remember I did my jelly video for, that was a Pavo event, just showing that it's not all the AFKs. Yeah. Same when it comes to, I hate the time gated ones. I know they need to drive up their metrics and it's a hangover from Cryptic, but they make content that's enjoyable and replayable, then you're going to get your player engagements that way, rather than forcing us into a TFO for 10 minutes. The problem with this ship, it is very, very quick when those competitive engines kick in, so try to collect the particle without going out of range, it can be a bit of a challenge. I think I'm one of them this afternoon. I actually flew around the Jupiter for about a minute and a half trying to deliver one particle. I'm also of the opinion that, see, if they brought in T7s, it would kill the game. Yeah, everybody's got their builds. A lot of folk have spent a fortune getting the T6s. If they brought in the T7s, I think a lot of them would just walk. I think X3 would be the better route to go through. Extra console and even an extra trait slot. And what I would like to see first, though, is a career change token. I've done the alteration one, and a nice career change one would be good, because it means I could just change my temporal and my gamma to science and tactical instead of creating new ones and going through that. Enjoy. That's all. They do need to up the difficulty level as well. because I know I'm blowing up here on advanced, so I've got a bit of a cheek to say it, but you know, with decent builds, hey Johnny, decent builds, you know, we see folk walk elites, you know, a blink of an eye. And folk have sold Corfez, and so they do need to either tune the difficulty levels a bit or create a new level above elite, and most likely it'll probably be a couple percent of the top players that'll be able to go through them without blowing up. And I know I said I don't do the story missions anymore, but it's the same with the story content, you know, that's literally a walk in the park. So that could use with scaling better or giving you higher rewards for doing it at higher difficulties. Right, the damn particle, for God's sake. There's a lot of tweaks in that they can do, you know, and it's still early days for Deca, you know, it's been a year, and they're still learning the antiquated engine as well, which really doesn't help. So, no, definitely. Totally agree with that. And I've got nothing against folk who want to come in and try the elite with, you know, their career progress ships with stock gear on it and all the rest of it. And obviously a lot of folk get annoyed that they have to carry players, but we've all been carried at one point or another for a start. But, you know, as long as they're trying, that's the main thing. It's the ones that come in and fly around the edge of the system for the TFO because they've been destroyed once. That's the annoyance. I was wondering who was sneaking about. It's my wife. And she's sneaking back upstairs. So, so I say there's a lot of things they can do. You know, they can learn. You know, looking at a lot more popular MMOs and that. Why am I stuck here? Let's try a woven jump. There we go, that's better. As I was trying to articulate, you know, when you look at other big successful MMOs and their engine is a lot easier to work with, and that's a lot more modern, which means you can get a lot more programmers in that don't have such a steep learning curve, which obviously allows for faster content creation and less bugs, hopefully. And I think it would be well out with the realms of them rebuilding the game on a different engine. The cost alone and the time, it really wouldn't be in their interests. As I think if they were to introduce a higher level of difficulty, and I say whether it be Elite Plus or like an insane, or you really sure you want to do this leveling, take the gear up to level 20. There are 5 levels, and that would probably be about the right balance. And if they do X3 as well in the ships, it's your adding in 1 extra trait, which we'd all love to have, I'm sure, and an extra console slot as well, so the build variety would go up also. I say we'll just need to wait and see what Decca's direction is over the next couple of years. I'll see what they do once they've got a good firm grip of the engine. I already know the art team's fantastic, just got to get the system guys up to get with the current game rather than the game 5-10 years ago. And I'm no doubt they will get there. I've not been the most positive of people over the last year. At the beginning I was all defending Deca and they're still learning, etc, but as time went on and more issues and wacky sales, etc, I did turn very negative for a while. But try to be more positive, more hopeful. And just whilst I see them in my inventory, the other great thing that they could do is on the fleet holdings, get rid of that stupid limit. I'm not doing it for the credits, I just want to dump them. Let's see if any of the other fleets have stuff available. There we go. Nice and handy. Right. I'll do one more. And I might jump back over to the main to see if anything else is sold, and if things have sold and we get some more keys, I might open another couple of boxes before I wrap it up. I think whatever they do to, rather than nerf everything into the ground, rather than bringing everything else up to par with it, and it is also aimed at the DPS guys. Oh, that's nice. How long is this going to take to spawn in? No, there we go. And see, the top guys are only 1% of the player base, if we're honest, so it's not like it's affecting having decent stuff on that does ridiculous amounts of damage. These guys are doing coordinated runs, they're not doing it in public queues for the most part. Excuse me, lost my train of thought there. Oh yes, but if they are going, drink now. Typical. But whatever changes they make, they do need to do it a lot more gradual than what they did with the Endeavour system. Or don't just dump it all in at once. Now, increase the difficulty first maybe, then do the gear or the ships. Do it in baby steps. As I'm certainly increasing the endeavour levels by now, what was it, 500? Did not go down well. Had they just done it 100 a year or something, I think that would have been better. Oh, that was nice and easy. Definitely got time for one more. Feel like Columbo. Just one more thing. The advanced one is straightforward enough. I tend to do the advanced runs and when I'm doing the solo for whether it be board kills or something on my main. Can't do elite solo without blowing up. It certainly was, and I say I'm only at 408, and that's purely because I started on PC about 13-14 years ago, give or take, and then my machine at the time gave up the ghost, and I've told this story a few times, so apologies for those that have heard it before. So the machine gave up the ghost, and I had an iMac at the time, so I couldn't justify buying another PC purely for playing Star Trek Online. I had the Xbox, I think it was the 360 at the time, so I switched to console for Star Trek Online, which is why I've got a console account that I would love just to take everything off of that, put it on my PC account and get rid of my Xbox account, but customer services keep saying you can't transfer between servers. I'm like, I don't want to transfer, I just want you to take a list of what I have, and anything that I don't have on PC, just unlock it. That's it. So yeah, so that's why my endeavours are so low, and also the fact I didn't actually bother with them for quite some time either, because it was just like, if I completed them whilst playing, fine. I just wouldn't go out my way to actually do it. So somebody's in the garret with the and that's the 847 shield they've got on there. This one's good in a coordinated team as well, because you get one grabs the bomb, or a couple grab the bombs, and the rest go and clear the star bases. I think the main problem is that for the console side of things, it's a different server, totally different game as well to a certain extent. So that's why we don't have crossplay, because to be honest with you, if they put crossplay on it, it would kill console. It would kill the exchange over on console, it would kill the DLX as well. And also, PC's got the better UI. Right, where's the next base? Over here. Come on, fly faster. Thank you. Another thing as well is that see if they did enable porting from console to PC, they might make more money. I know there's quite a few console players that have said, you know, they've been playing on it for console for, is it 9 years? I think it was it 2015, 2016 came out on console? Something like that. And they've said that they would come to PC, but they're not starting again after so long. Now that's fair enough. Now they've invested in the game, they've got the events and box or promo ships, etc. Why would you? And that's the sole reason I still play on consoles, because I do have a lot of time invested in it. I do have monetary investment in it as well. I have had bought bundles, etc. So walking away from that is a bit tough.
Only one empty base left. They're sending a dreadnought to stop it. There's dreadnought.
Oh, the base is gone, isn't good.
They have a dreadnought. Fight.
There we go, job done. That'd help. I would imagine that they would. I think the problem is, Rumble, is that I think there is limitations on the engine when it comes to the graphics. It's because of the current graphics and the rubber banding with the server performance as it is. But I would certainly say the likes of the Dyson. Also, we've seen it in one of the recent missions where they had that new Dyson zone, and it looked fantastic. So, Dyson zone graphical update would be nice, and on console especially. Console's graphics are like 480 or 720. Can't remember. So the Xbox is putting out, for example, 4K. And then the actual game itself isn't even anywhere near that. So as well was said, we'll just see what happens in 2026 and beyond. Yeah. There's been a lot of good decisions made and quite a few not so good ones, which has probably cost them quite a bit. But I'll wait and see. What's Clive sent me this time? You cheap sod sending me infinity lock boxes. And jump over to my main and see if anything's sold. There's quite a bit they could do. You know, bring back, you know, I know folk are screaming for the Foundry to come back. I don't think it ever will. No, nothing sold. Still EC poor again. I have the only character that needs it. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't do much ground stuff. That's right, well, as I say, it's getting to the stage now where the Xbox is effectively just a gaming PC. And that, for all intents and purposes, the software that's on it is effectively Windows. So why go through all the hassle of designing and manufacturing consoles, especially when you're... He follows me everywhere, that one. All that expense, and then also when you look at Games Pass, you know, they're putting Call of Duty straight on it when it first came out. So the only sales we're really getting was PlayStation and PC, who, or even Xbox to a certain extent, that didn't have Games Pass. So I don't know what Microsoft's strategy is, because also they've stopped effectively selling Windows as well. That's went the way that Mac OS is. It's free. So also they're still in business, so they're doing something right. Yeah, we'll just see what the big announcements are. Probably the next big tech conference, we'll probably see a lot of announcements from Microsoft, I think. Yeah, so, but unfortunately I'm have to call it a night there, I'm afraid. As I say, I'm up in a few hours, and I hate this blinking mail thing that is. I'm starting to get PTSD with it. One Borg box. One. Thank you for everybody for joining this evening. I'm going to see if there's anybody on Twitch to read out to. I'm actually starting to remember to do that. You know, folk read me and I like to read them back. If there's anybody out, let's see what we have. But it is actually... Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody stream STO, unfortunately, so I guess I won't be reading out. But next stream will be Sunday, same time, after Mutara Alliance's stream. So, as I say, if you haven't checked them out, links in my video descriptions on YouTube, so you can join them, chance to win prizes, etc., which is always good. If that damn Moobot is nice enough and lets you do it. But I say I'll be back on Sunday. Might pick up another ship, don't know, wait and see. If not, hopefully I have the Jupiter video out, so I can show some interesting features of that ship with the vanity shields. After that, I don't want to spoil the surprise too much, but yes. So thank you all very much again, and I shall see you on the next one.